Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Listen to this. Ish and Flip finally link up and drop their JBP Rewind. Now, from my perspective, I think this is episode 4 if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, it might be the strongest one so far. And yeah, it's definitely the longest episode they've put out, no question. They kicked things off with John Mark, and you could clearly tell that was more of an intro vibe. That one only ran about 30 to 40 minutes, real light. Then they transitioned into, I'm pretty sure it was Amani and Parks. After that, we got Mona and Ice stepping in. And here's the thing, every single episode has been leveling up, getting better and better each time. Why? Because they're finally tapping into the conversations people actually care about. Now hold up, I really hope that if they spin this into a season 2 or keep it going, they open it up for the audience to submit questions. Because let's be real, you can tell a lot of these questions are coming straight from Ian, maybe even Joe himself. And yeah, Corey definitely sounds like he's behind a few of them too, just based on how they're being framed. The way the questions are structured makes it way easier for them to control the narrative with their answers. It's almost like they're being guided into responding a certain way. Like when Ish was breaking down how Flip was when he first joined versus how he is now. Or when they brought up how Ish even started warming up to Flip after those heated moments they had. You can tell those questions were crafted to steer both Flip and Ish into very specific responses. And I'm like, nah, we're trying to shake the room a little. We're trying to really get into it, especially with everything that's been going on lately and all that tension that is built up between them. But speaking of tension, let me tell you something. You can clearly see Ish actually enjoys being around Flip now. I'm not sure if it's his contagious energy or just that wild, over-the-top personality he brings. As long as those blow-ups stay in check, you can tell Ish actually enjoys being around Flip. Or, better yet, maybe he finally realized that what we're seeing is a character version of who Flip really is. Because once those cameras start rolling, Flip turns it on, and that's literally part of his job. He's there to entertain. And to be fair, he's been saying that for a while now. And I think once Ish truly clocked that, he started looking at Flip differently. Like, alright, I can rock with him now. But hold up, one of the things they said in this episode really caught me off guard. Both of them said it, no hesitation. They claimed Ice is the real one on the platform. And I'm sitting here like, wait, what? There's no way y'all actually believe that. But then I had to pause and really think it through. Because Ice does stand firm in who he is. He doesn't fold, he doesn't bend, he's going to stand on his opinion whether the room agrees or not. And yeah, I can respect that to a certain degree, but at the same time, that could also just come off as being stubborn. Then, when Flip doubled down and said the same thing, I had to stop like, hold on, they might actually mean this. They really might believe this. So now I'm wondering, is there a different version of Ice that the cast sees behind the scenes that we don't get as viewers? Especially now that it's becoming obvious something's going on backstage with Ice, since he's not showing up as consistently anymore. And from what it looks like, a lot of that ties into how he's being perceived by the audience. I'm not gonna lie, that's interesting to me. But still, both of them standing on that realism in the room take, I'm like, are y'all being for real or just dancing around the truth? Because let's not forget, when Flip first came in, he and Ish had some serious clashes. And even when things got messy, they kind of covered for him with those same safe answers like, that's just who he is. And a lot of what we saw here shows that Flip is willing to take accountability, but only if everybody else does the same. He wasn't really trying to revisit those old clips that painted him in a bad light, because in his mind, that's not who he is anymore. That version of Flip, that's old news. He's clearly trying to show growth, like he's making a real effort to evolve and switch up his content. He's basically saying, I'm not that guy anymore, stop labeling me like that. But every time Ish got pressed with a question, classic Ish style, he stood 10 toes down. I don't see anything wrong with how I handled that. I don't see anything wrong with deflecting. I don't see anything wrong with dodging the question. Then he flipped it back to the audience, talking about, yeah, I don't like how people cater to the crowd. I don't like people going into spaces talking about me. And I'm like, come on now, everybody's getting talked about in those spaces. And the funny part, he's not even in there half the time. Is this the whole energy that Ish has toward the audience? Yeah, it honestly blows my mind. I don't think I'll ever fully understand it. Because trust me, I get it. People online say some wild stuff. They'll jump in your comments or your page and say it straight to you like it's face to face.
even though it's all parasocial. And meanwhile, they're low-key getting their engagement off you. So naturally, you're sitting there like, who are you even talking to like this? At the end of the day though, these are supporters, these are fans. These are the same people who make up your community. This is literally why you create content in the first place. And let's be real, you can't act like that's not the reason anymore. You've been doing this for 5 years. That just watch and don't engage mindset, yeah, that doesn't fly now. Especially when Joe himself has shown that interacting with the audience is a huge part of the success.
Pretty much everybody on that platform engages with the community in some way. And that's a big reason why they're able to call themselves the #1 platform, at least in their space. So yeah, it's always confusing to me how Ish seems to have this underlying frustration with the audience. The same goes for Ice, who's shown that same kind of energy at times. And now, suddenly, they're both kind of straddling the fence on it. But let's be honest, Flip is really the only one who can even speak freely like that. Because when it comes to Ice, even he has to tread lightly. They literally brought it up on the show. Flip said he had to apologize to Ice just for mentioning him in a segment. And we've all seen it. Ice will shut down completely and go quiet, even though he's done similar things himself. So now everybody has to move extra carefully around him in certain topics, because they already know how he's going to react, and it's going to shift the entire vibe in the room. But then y'all still turn around and call him the realest one? Make that make sense. Meanwhile, Flip is over here apologizing for his past behavior, even though, let's be real, he played a huge role in taking the show to another level. But if you look at it from Ish's perspective, I can kind of see it. He might be thinking, hold up, this show only survived because me and Ice held it down. Like in his mind, there's a level of seniority there. And that energy definitely comes through in how he answers questions. Anytime it's about the cast, it's like, I've been here the longest. I've seen this play out before. He talks about trying to welcome people in, even though it doesn't always feel like that's been the case. And let's not ignore it. Almost everyone who's joined has had some kind of tension with Ish. Flip had his moments, saying certain things. Mona, too, came in with that same type of energy. And now it feels like Joe is trying to stir things up again, possibly lining up new conflicts involving Ice and Ish. But there's definitely a deeper reason behind that. And trust me, we'll get into that another time. Overall, though, I'm not mad at the direction this episode took. I just feel like they can go way deeper with it. Like real, personal, uncomfortable questions. And yeah, that might sound wild coming from me, but that's what the audience actually wants. The only reason people are still tapped in is that there's so much behind-the-scenes stuff we know happened. We don't necessarily need full BTS footage. We want to hear how y'all actually felt in those moments. And if they really lean into that honesty, this show could seriously go to another level. Appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.